Hello everybody, welcome to my sunset. It is a lovely night here in Arizona. It is 7:03, so I'm coming on a lot later than I normally do, but it's 7 and there's still a little bit of light outside, so I'm enjoying these longer days. It is March 11th, Wednesday, 2026. And I'm not sure what the temperature is, but probably like 65 degrees or something like that. It's really nice and a lovely evening. Today was a really restful, peaceful day for me. So coming out and enjoying the evening is very pleasant. Clear day, clear skies. Got our evening star over there. So yesterday I talked about a window of energy that had shifted from what the year had been presenting. Actually, the year has been really a bit of a roller coaster in terms of the energy, but yesterday was very interesting, very positive and energetic day. So I don't know if anybody else experienced anything interesting. If anybody comes on and wants to hop in the chat and talk about their day yesterday or mention something that was really interesting that happened kind of out of the blue, that might be interesting. But I come on and I do these lives pretty much every evening when I'm available. Not every single night, but I love the liminality, the liminal spaces because of my own unique energetic frequency and the frequency that my nervous system basically gives off is in some ways a bridge for certain energies and frequencies to transition through the portals that give us access to the multiple different layers of reality that we can experience here. So I enjoy the sunset and I like to identify it and spend time in it and mark it with some reverence because it's a space of it's one of my domains that resonates with me. So that's why I come live and share the sunset with whomever likes to come live during this time and spend it with me. I'm in Arizona. We're known for our beautiful sunsets and our beautiful skies. So it's just a lovely opportunity for me. And I like knowing your location and your time and what might be up in the sky for you because it kind of helps to create a vortex, a convergence of consciousnesses, if you will, and how each of us is interacting with our reality kind of creates a special moment for all of us. So, hello in the chat. Let's see, who do we have? We have Emma Terrell. Hi, 6'7" to you as well. I don't know, I'm an older person, so I don't know how old anybody is, but typically people are youthful if they're coming on to chat in these lives. And 6'7" has been going around, so I don't know what it means to different people. It does have esoteric significance in Kabbalah and things like that, but what does it mean to the youth. But why do you guys put it in the chat? I'm curious about that. But welcome back, Emma. I think you were on my live last night. It's good to see you back. Hi, Imago. Am I good? Am I good? Am I good? I don't know. But hi. Hello, welcome to my chat. Cool view. I'm glad you like the view. It is my sunset time. And I'm glad you're in my chat and watching the sky with me and having your consciousness focused on the same thing. It's significant to me, so I appreciate you coming in and doing that. Hypno Alt 5. Wow, that's a really cool name. Welcome. Hear you out. Okay, I'm not sure if you're going to drop something interesting in the chat, but go for it. You can't hear me? So, wow, okay, I'm sorry. Michiganer, oh hi Michiganer, welcome to my chat. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. Hope your days and months. It's been like a while. It's been a couple of months since I've seen you, maybe 1 or 2 or something. So I hope everything is going well for you in your neck of the woods. Let's see. Oh, 6'7" is just a joke. Well, I mean, maybe and that's what I wanted to kind of find out if it is kind of a joke, and I think maybe if you're younger in years, you might see it that way, but there is significance to it. There are some significances to the whole 6'7" meme and thing, so I'm just wondering the different perceptions of it. How are you second? Oh, on the ranking? I don't know. I don't even know how that works. Hypno. Okay, Hypno. Welcome in. Tell me about the name. Are you into hypnosis and stuff like that? Because I am. I've got some links in my description if you want to check those out if you're into it. The chat is, well, so when I first come on, I'm usually talking and enjoying the sunset and just looking at it. So I'm not conscious of what is being put down in the chat for some time. So that could be, yes, there's a delay. So Hypno says the chat's more delayed than the SpaceX launch. I appreciate the reference because I did catch that SpaceX launch. Even though I'm in Arizona and the SpaceX launch launched out of, I think, San Diego or somewhere in California, I was able to see it very clearly. It was so amazing. I didn't know what it was. I just was live facing this direction, and something streaked across the sky and was there for a while, and we were all like on the chat wondering what in the hell it was. Later, come to find out it was the SpaceX launch. So because of our proximity and the magnitude of the launch, we were able to see it, and it was very, very cool. So go back through my lives and or Google it or search it or whatever on YouTube. I do have a SpaceX launch, and it streaks across the horizon, and it was really cool to see. But I'm sorry for the delay. JFK Center, out of where is that? I don't even know. I'd have to Google it. But where are you where are you, Hypno? Are you in California or in a different country or? And did you catch it? Did you watch it? But we saw it live happening, right in front of me, right there. I didn't know it was that far away because it seemed so close. It seemed like it was right here. I thought it was launching out of the airport down here, but yeah, it launched out of California, I think. The country of the colonialism is the whole world for the most part, except um, really countries in opposition to, the few states that are in opposition to the rest of the world, though, they're classified as rogue and evil and all those things. And I'm not saying that they're not, but there's some propaganda to rogue states, which are few at this point. So the whole world is colonialisms. But so I appreciate the what you're saying there. Oh, the UK? Oh, you're in the UK. Cool. 2 a.m. Yeah, okay. So it's 7 for me, 2 a.m. for you. So you're in the depths of night. Are you having trouble sleeping, Hypno? Is that what's going on? If so, I have something especially for you. Oh, oh, you're a student? What what level of study are you at? Are you grade school, high school? There's American systems. I don't know what you have in the UK, but high school. Your last 4 years of education at the. It's typically how we do it, and then after that is college or university stuff. So. 9 years old or grade level 9. I don't know. 9 years old up at 2 a.m. studying for exams. That's hardcore. That's pretty intense. This is a grill. We like our stainless steel grills here in Arizona. We like our grills and we like stainless steel, and so we put them together and we make stainless steel grills. But that's what that is. Grade 9. So is that like freshman high school? Are you like 14, 15? Is that how that works? Halfway high. Yeah. So you're like 14. Yeah, okay. I'm assuming you're saying you're 14 years old, so that lines up. Um, Students here in the States do their ninth year at about 14. So you're a freshman in high school. You'd be a freshman in high school here. But still intense for up at 2 a.m. studying. But good for you. That's good. That means you have plans. You have a mapped out future, which is actually quite important to have something that a track that you're running on. What do you hear about the American students nowadays? I didn't follow it. We have a lot of students protesting the various things that are going on with our current administration, so that may be what you're hearing in the news. We hear in my city, we've had a couple of walkouts and things like that, but it's important to be involved and state your opinions and things like that. But I think for us here in America, protesting is important, but I think more than there are other things that can be done that people have forgotten about. Things that can be put forth in writing that I think are more powerful. You know, yes, it's good to get out there and get into your communities and show your presence physically, but people need to remember how governments work, and you know, the civic have a civic understanding of how the government works, and put forth things in writing that have more power or have additional power that can move government in ways that can't be done through protesting. So research that. You're 14, you're up at 2 a.m. studying. Find out, you know, because UK and America are somewhat similar in some ways. There are some ancient structures in the UK that patterned what we have here in America, but those things still exist for you in the UK. Study those and use those documents and structures to affect change through the writing process. So those things are a little bit more important. And one of the reasons why, like here in the States, everybody's being dumbed down in their writing and their reading comprehension for that very reason, to take the power of reading and writing away from the masses. So start exercising your reading and your writing and use it to understand what's happening in government and put forth your power using the pen to make change happen in that way, as well as your physical protests and things like that, if those are things that you're also doing. Well, not as ancient. You're bringing up Stonehenge. Not as ancient as Stone. Well, I mean, you can reference stuff like that, but just things from it. You know, a few hundred years ago, 1,000 years ago, there are things that you can reference and use that still have power. It's not like those things aren't useful anymore. You know, here in America, we have our Constitution, written a few hundred years ago. And we still reference it, but there are international documents from other countries and other international organizations that affect really anybody on the globe, and we can reference those documents because those documents continue to be the foundation for the structures that we see today. So you can affect the foundation if you approach it from those foundational documents. So research your foundational documents for your country, read them, and understand that they still have power. They are still in effect. And that is what gives your current government the power that they have. And they're relying on people's ignorance and the propaganda and stuff that they put out, that people aren't going to reference those ancient, when I say ancient, I mean like, you know, 1,000 years, 800 years old, things like that. They are still in effect. They still give power to your governments. And so reference them and communicate with your government using those references to those foundational documents. That's going to give you a lot of you have the authority. It's the people who have the authority, whether you're in the United States or anywhere else. And I know, in the UK you have parliament and monarchy and things like that are different than here, but it doesn't really matter. Power still needs agreement, and so it's you can negotiate that agreement through those historical documents. Okay, Hypno, I don't exactly understand what you're saying. Let me scroll back here. Okay, Stonehenge stuff, but that's like 6 hours. Oh, it's 6 hours for me? Oh, that's a good distance. You practice about 20 or less subjects, huh? Study about 10. Oh, hi, Damaged Healer. Yeah, it has been a while. Welcome back. Selected for jobs. And you would only have oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Well, as a young person, I know, like, school systems and society or whatever, they give you a range of options to choose from for things to study and things to project into your future. But, we live in a time when those structures aren't that concrete anymore. You have the power and ability to do basically whatever you want. We have the internet, we have YouTube and whatever. You can do whatever you want. So, yes, it's nice to use the structures that currently exist and the paradigms that currently exist, and study them and get your knowledge up. Yes, that's good. I'm all for education. I think really everybody should go to college because you study a lot of these foundational things that I'm talking about, and it just gives you a basic level of understanding of how the world works and operates. But really look at what you love to do. What do you currently do? How do you use your mind, and what brings you joy? You should be pursuing those things that bring you joy in a serious way. That should really be your first focus, is to how can you structure the things that you really love doing and enjoy. How can those things be, I hate to say monetized, but that's basically what it is how can you monetize the things that you love and enjoy doing. Make sure that that's a heavy part of your career trajectory, is making sure that you're honoring yourself with the things that you love and enjoy. Don't go for the money. Like, if it's a choice between which degree or what direction should I get, this one has a clear path to money, and that one is maybe what I like doing, but I don't see a clear path to money. Oftentimes that one is the better path, and it'll lead to an easier path to money when it's in some ways unclear, but it's motivated by your joy in your heart. So keep that in mind. That's my advice to you as an older person. Okay, let's see what else is going on in the chat. Yeah, I've been well, Damaged Healer. I hope you have been too. What's been going on with you? And I hate to ask that question because I'm going to hop off here. Shit, oh my God, I've been on for 25 minutes now, which is a long time for me. But survival of the fittest, Not real, not exactly. Like things don't exactly work that way. Because survival of the fittest assumes randomness, and there's a life algorithm happening here, and all of the things in existence really work together and support each other. So it's not, we're not really, everything that exists is not necessarily in competition with it, it itself. Yes, there is, uh, there are cycles, rises and falls, and you have, an autophagy going on where, things that are damaged or that don't work very well would get uh, discarded or recycled or whatever. You have that. But um, really everything is in support of each other. Things happen in spirals and in waves and in vortices, and something that pushes one thing isn't necessarily pushing it out. You can see it as it pushing it forward in support. Whether it feels aggressive, whether it feels competitive or not, oftentimes competition isn't necessarily competition. It could just be support, if that makes sense. So see it in that way. See it as fractal. Life is fractal, and each of the spiral tentacles that emanate off of the larger system, they aren't necessarily expendable. They're just, that's just the motion that they have, if that makes sense. Okay, let's see. Okay. Subjects come at a cost. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Oh, your phone just died. Oh, okay, bye, damage healer. Yeah, I know you have a lot of exams and testing, and they want to see what happens. Do them joyfully. Be involved, because there's a advantage to having both feet in, or to be straddling, both worlds. You're in the depths of the world that you're in, that you were provided, in the structure that you were born into, and it's good to know it. And yes, do well, excel, and all those things. I'm just saying, be mindful of where your joy is, and see if you can't bridge those two things together, and use the structure, kind of like what I'm saying, like use the structure instead of it looking at it as competition, those two things competing. Use the structures that be to support what it is that brings you joy, that may not necessarily have a place in the structure, because that's what you're adding to this existence, is your understanding of how to bring what brings you joy into the structure. You're the missing link, the missing piece that grows the structure, that uses the structure that exists to support what it is that brings you joy and love. That's how you bring joy and love into the structure and transform the larger structure, by bringing your joy and your excitement for things that don't seem to fit. You know how they fit. That's your job, is to show us how these things fit together. There's a lot of tests. The job application, yeah. Hey, I understand. I get it. But as a young person, you have an advantage if you take advantage of the advantage, which is thinking strategically now about how to bring your joy, your passion, your love into the structure. How can the structure support your joy and your love and your stuff? How do they fit together? How can you bridge them? We technology is so useful. You can figure out how to bridge it together. So I'm gonna get off now, but I'm just gonna I have a free app that helps you with that. And what it does is you put your birth date and all that kind of stuff. It's private. I don't see any of that stuff. It's all, well structured. And you put your birth information in there, and it gives you a extensive natal blueprint, and it examines it through Kabbalah and astrology, psychology. There's some body work in there that you can, some audios. I use a hypnotic form of audio body work or whatever, if you will, in there to bring those two things together. Somebody's trying to call me. But once you put your information in there, you can ask the oracle, and it's using AI, and so, depending on how you feel about AI. But the AI is just using pattern recognition to look at your pattern, to look at your frequency, and answer your questions based on that, based on your unique signature and how you specifically can approach life. So go in there and use that and ask it these questions like, oh, I like to do X, Y, and Z. How can I pair that with my parents' desire that I go and be an engineer or study engineering or something, whatever. So use my app. It's completely free, and you can use it to bridge all of these things together and figure out a unique path for yourself. And then I've got some other links in the description. I have a 3-part hypnosis series to help you shift your identity or come to know your authentic self better and use it to gain a mastery or a fluidity of self in this reality. And a sleep audio. So those of you who have some sleep issues, I have a very specific sleep audio that guides you. It brings your mind and your body together and helps you. Like if you're an overthinker, it really helps you to land yourself back into your body and allow the body's intelligence to get you to sleep efficiently. So check those links out. But other than that, I'm going to leave it there. I've been on for quite a while. Hypno, thank you for coming on and being curious about things and asking questions and giving us some interesting details about your experience in school and stuff. I thought that was very interesting. So yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, thanks everybody for hopping into the chat, and hopefully I'll see you on another one. Good night.